you get a whole 300 days or 330 days, right? But if you're Shafi'i, you better get it done before Ramadan. And that's what the ulama call al-azmi wa-rukhsa, taking either the hard road or the easy road. And they say the Sharia is all filled with these balancing acts. Every imam, if he has a hard opinion, the other one will invariably have an easy opinion. I mean, people think ijbar, marriages. I say you have to marry this person, that's it, you have to marry him. That's Islam. That's not Islam. That's one version of Islam, people. That's one version of Islam, all right? And it's a version. I'm not going to deny it. It's there. I've seen it in the books. I'm not going to deny it. Most pre-modern societies, including England, got married based on arranged marriages. I mean, that's just the way the pre-modern world was. Everybody had their marriages arranged. There's nothing new about that. I mean, Islam didn't invent that. That's just the way it was. Does it work today here in the United Kingdom? No, it's unacceptable. One, because it's illegal. And two, because it's just, this is not a pre-modern world. And you cannot expect women who have been raised in a world that's very different from the world of their ancestors to accept certain views that were very commonplace and accepted during that time. And does it mean it's un-Islamic? No, because there's other opinions in Islam that say that women cannot be compelled to marry anyone they don't want. And those are absolutely valid opinions. And you know what the ulama say? Wallahu a'lam. What did God intend? Allah knows best. This is the best I can do. This is what I think it is. But I could be wrong. So that's Islam. And that's how this surah begins. Don't speak for God and His Messenger. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. And guard yourselves against the wrath of God if you're going to be doing that. And Imam Ghazali, just to drive a point home, said, you'd be better off fornicating or stealing than speaking about Sharia or about theology without the requisite knowledge. I mean, that's how grave they took it back then. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا تَرْفَعُوا أَصْوَاتَكُمْ. Don't raise your voices over the Prophet ﷺ. وَلَا تَجْهَرُوا لَهُ بِالْقَوْلِ. Don't be uncouth people. Be people of respect and adab with your scholars. I mean, what I learned, this is what I learned. I had he must have been 19, 20 years old, came up to me. And I'm old enough now to be a 19-year-old's father. And it won't be long before I could be their grandfather. And in the old days, as you get older, you kind of like those religious injunctions about treating people with gray hair with respect. You know, when you're young, they might not make a lot of sense. But as time moves on, you know, they really start making a lot of sense. Deference to the uncles. Let's hear it for the uncles. And he's arguing this and that, and he asked me my opinion, first of all, about something. And I said, well, in my opinion, this is it. And he starts screaming. I said, so you didn't really want to hear my opinion. You just wanted to make sure that I disagreed with you so you can argue with me. Is that what you wanted? Because I'll tell you something. I was once your age. That's why I have to say I do have compassion for you. And that's why the Islamic education was based on old people teaching young people. Because if you get all these young people out there behaving like mad people, and as you get older and more rational and more intelligent and more aware, and it's true, you won't believe it. If you're 20 now hearing this, I guarantee you won't believe it. But when I was 22 years old, and I'll never forget this, somebody told me, they were in their 40s, they told me, there's things that I know now at 40 I could have never known when I was 20. And I guarantee you, you're listening to me and you don't believe it, but you'll find out later on down the road. Well, that's why Sheikh is the title of an Islamic teacher. What does Sheikh mean? Old man. That's all it means. It just means old man. Why would you want to learn from old people? Because not only do they have knowledge, they have experience. And experience counts for a lot in this world. It counts for so much that experienced people are actually considered people that should have an opinion even if they're uneducated. And that's why Ahlul Halli wal Aqd are brought in as a consultation body, even if they don't have knowledge. Just because they've been around long enough to have worked certain things out. Certain things about life that are just simply true. So we've got all these young people out there screaming and shouting that have never sat at the feet of a wise person. A wise person. And actually felt the sakina. I mean, I was with Marabt al-Hajj, who's in his 90s now, may Allah preserve him. And I was with him sitting in his company, and there was another person, Yahya Rodas. And you can ask him if anybody knows him. Some of you know Yahya Rodas, American young man. And we were sitting in there, and there was so much sakina in that room. And I hadn't felt that much sakina since I'd been in the Rawda of the Prophet ﷺ, and I'm not exaggerating. There was so much sakina in that room that I actually started feeling elated and started feeling like I was actually in a total state of bliss. And I thought, and this is the ego and stupidity. I thought, am I the only person having this feeling right now? And I opened my eyes, and I looked at Yahya, and he looked at me, and he went like this. That's what he did. He just had a blissed out face. And that was from sitting with a human being that has never backbit in 95 years. Nobody there's people there who have known him for over 80 years, and they told me nobody has ever heard him speak ill of an animal, let alone a human being. And I'm not exaggerating. That's a person who will not tolerate backbiting in his company. If you speak ill of a person, he will immediately silence you. That's a person who, when dunya is brought up, he either falls asleep or he just he leaves the company and goes into his dhikr. That's a person who recites the Quran in his sleep. And I've seen that with my own eyes. So if you want Islamic education, we better find out how those people are produced, because those are the people that are going to save the world. It's not all these people jumping up and down. The Quran says, Hudaybiyah, when they were all agitated and angry at seeing the Muslims mistreated, and they went to the Prophet and he said, be patient. Allah says in the Quran that when all the kuffar of Mecca were getting into a state of agitation,